I picked up a few more sprinter boxwoods to finish our hedge over there, so I think it's gonna be really a fun, sweet little area. Okay, so here's the plan. I've got 5 basketball roses in here that I want to dig out. There are 2 ginger wine 9 barks. I'm gonna dig one of them today because I've got a good spot for one, and then we'll come back for the other one when I figure out where that one's gonna go. So basically there's not much to this. The basketballs have been in the ground. This would have been their 3rd season here. So they'll be fairly rooted in, but not like super mature and super established, so that's good. It should make it a little bit easier on us. So what I'm gonna do is dig these out with as big of a root ball as possible. It does look like it watered in here, so that will help more of the soil cling to the roots. Unlike the boxwoods, it was pretty dry over there, so we weren't able to get a ton of roots. The dirt just kind of fell off, and I don't know, hopefully they don't shock. But anyway, let's get these all dug up. I'm gonna put them in the back of the gator. My plants, I'm over here on the west side where we just planted the 2 boxwoods. See, they're looking pretty good. I mean, 2 days in, I did notice that the fresh new growth was kind of wilted that first day, like the day after we planted them. And we've just been really diligent with water so far, and they just perked right back up. So I'm hoping that that coupled with some wilt, stop, this one looks a little bit less happy. You can see that right there. Shoot, I think this is the one that had less roots on it too. Anyway, I've got more sprinter boxwoods here. So we're gonna finish off the hedge to this cone so that it looks like one continuous idea. When I didn't have the cone boxwoods here, it kind of made sense to have just this end cap where I could do whatever and just stop the configuration right there. But now that the cone's here, I feel like we need to have the boxwood hedge. And then we're gonna be planting the basketball roses right back here. So 5 of them back planted behind the sprinter boxwood hedge. And then I think I'm gonna either come in with like denim and lace Russian sage or meteor shower verbena. I might do the verbena route this year since it's an annual to see how I like it. But I love that pink with the lavender purple color together. I think that would be really, really pretty. And then the 9 bark is actually gonna go over here. So I have some Blue Point cypress in here. I think that's what they're called. Geez, if I'm wrong, we'll put the name on the screen. This one's looking okay. That one's not. That one I'm gonna pop up and put the 9 bark right there. I need red back here anyway. Got a glorious spring snow crabapple. This is the one that the gophers ate the root system out from underneath last year, and I packed the hole around it. Like, it was hanging on by a couple of threads. Honestly, like it had eaten the main root system off of this plant. And I could have pulled the whole thing out just by hand, or like I could rock it in its hole. Anyway, I packed the hole full of biotone and land and sea compost and just kept it watered, and look at it this spring. Isn't that amazing? That just makes me so happy when we can save something like that. Behind it, we've got a Chanticleer pear. There is a autumn brilliance serviceberry right here that's almost out of bloom. Anyway, so there's a lot of green, not a lot of red foliage in this area, so I need to start amping that up a little bit. So I think I'll get the 9 bark in the ground first so I can get a slow hose running on its roots so it's really deeply saturated today. And then I'm gonna do the boxwood hedge, and then we'll place the roses. I think that's the order we'll do things in. So here we go. practiced sizing up the rest of these holes, and I thought, you know what, this will go a lot faster if we get the big auger out. So Aaron is in the barn grabbing that to help me just get these holes dug really quick, but I love the 9 bark. Doesn't that look beautiful tucked in there? And we've got a brand new grid system in here, and we've run it enough times in terms of drip system. We've run it enough times to know that it's working really well in this area. And I do know that I need to, before we mulch, I'm gonna cap or run just black poly instead of the brown drip tube next to our spruce because it's getting too much water. So I'll need to fix that, adjust that before we mulch, but oh, it's just coming together so nicely. Hey, Russell. And over here I have the boxwoods all lined up, so I just kind of eyeball it for something like this. So you can see it lines up with the other ones, and they are approximately the same distance apart. In the end, it's gonna be a hedge, so it doesn't matter that much. And then I put a piece of white dirt, a clump of white dirt in the spot where I think I want all the roses. The bosquabel grows about 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide, so I think they'll fill in this place, like this spot, beautifully, but not overwhelm it. And I want the roses just to kind of peak above the boxwood hedge. I'll keep the hedge probably at about 2 feet, so we'll have 2 feet worth of rose blooms there. And then I think if we have some purple around the, oh, my camera, hello. Camera's like to the side. Like I was saying, some purple around the pink roses I think will be so, so pretty. Well, that'll make my job so much easier out here. Perfect. Oh, I know I am just going to love this. It makes me so excited. So we have a drip system already around the boxwoods here, and then there's a little grid in between because I usually plant, well, the tulips and then annuals. So it ends right here, and so I want to continue the grid on. So I'm going to tee in right here and run a straight line of this brown poly tubing over to the boxwood. Then I'll elbow and come around this way and tee in right here, and then I'll run a few, probably 3 lines in between. And I don't know if I brought enough parts, but this is what I'm going to use. The brown poly drip tubing that has the emitter holes every 18 inches, landscape staples to help tack it down, my Felcos, of course, to cut it, and then I don't think I'm going to need to use any straight couplers, but I will use 1 elbow and lots of tees. And when I planted these right here, usually I bury the graft just a little bit to help prevent rocking, you know, of the plant, and it also helps protect the crown a bit. But I'm accommodating for mulch because I know I am going to be running the drip system today. We'll let it run for a couple of days to make sure the coverage is really good of the water, and then we'll come through with our layer of mulch, which will then mulch up the plant a little bit. That's why I didn't bury them a little bit deeper. I used to never bury the graft union of the rose. It was always up above the soil, and I think some people still plant them that way. And I've probably planted a few that way too, just kind of reverting back to old habits. And I've never had a problem with it, but then I started watching some really highly respected gardeners and some rose growers in the industry who say to bury it. So I started to do that just in the last few years, and I've had really good luck with that as well. So I don't know what method you guys usually choose, but by burying the graft union, the thought is that it helps the plant from rocking, you know, like wind and weather and things like that. It also helps protect the crown of the plant so that it doesn't die and freeze. So anyway, so let's get the drip system run, and then I'm gonna re-water all of these things back in, and then our project for today is done. It's awesome. Oh, except for I've got to spray these with wilt stop. Don't let me forget. All right, got the drip system run, got the plants all watered in, hosed off the sidewalk, and we ran the drip system just to make sure that it's all functioning. So far, everything's looking good, but we will not cover the drip tubing with mulch until we've run the drip system a couple times, like I said, just to make sure that the coverage of water is good and that every plant is getting ample water. Okay, so one last look. Got the Nofofia planted, got the Boxwoods sprayed, ginger wine 9 bark planted, the 5 Boscoville roses, the Boxwoods, the drip system run, and then just imagine the meteor shower verbena in here with the pink blooms and the purple blooms and mulch. It's just gonna be so pretty. I'm so excited about it. And you can definitely see the drip is working. And that is gonna be it for today's project. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.